For the Eurovision fans, she will be a legend thanks to her win in Jerusalem with Take Me to Your Heaven. But Charlotte Nilsson, now Perrelli, is so much more than a one-time winner. She has participated 3 more times in the Melodifestivalen and released several successful records. Starred in famous musicals, is constantly on the tour and has throughout the years been one of Sweden's most famous and talked about persons. And sadly, not always in a nice way. You are listening to Eurovision Legends. I am Emil Löfström, the bright and humble star of this show. But today I know that I will be outshined by my guest. Cue the jingle. Welcome to Eurovision Legends, legendary Charlotte Perrelli.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Tell me, what was your relation with the Eurovision and Melodifestivalen when you grew up?
Oh, that was something really special. You know, that time, that was actually quite a long time ago. So that was the big happening every year. And we were following it before the big competition in the newspaper in Smålandsposten, where I live in South Sweden on the countryside. We read about the artists. It was only 10 artists competing, and almost every year it was new artists that I haven't heard about before. So it was very, very exciting, and I loved the competition, and everyone did at that time, and of course still does. But I remember it was something that even the adults really looked forward to, and were planning to have something special. That we were eating something special. The neighbors maybe stopped by, and we were watching it together, and it was something special, and it was a fantastic evening, and everyone were talking about who do you think will win. I remember especially, for example, when Pernilla was in the competition 85, and everyone said that, have you heard about this high note that she will take? Everyone talks about it. It was very, very fantastic.
Before Tusen och natt, how many songs do you believe you have sung on that was meant for Melodifestivalen?
I think I actually sang on one song with Magnus Carlsson, but it was never meant to the competition. We did it just as a fun thing because we were both singing in dance band, and just the composer to the song wanted us to do the song in the studio. I think it was called something like Det kommer alltid krypande, something like that. It was a really weird song, and I don't remember it at all. But I have heard something about it that they actually sent it to the jury, but of course it never it wasn't good enough. But I think that's the only song actually before Tusen och natt that I sang on.
We saw you behind Björn Hedström in 95 with the song Du är drömmen jag drömt.
Du är drömmen jag drömt, den bild som jag haft i min fantasi. Och jag vet att drömmen blir verklighet, ja man
Do you remember if you knew there and then that this would be your stage one day?
No, I actually never thought about it that way, because at that time I was singing in the band Anders Engbergs, and everything was so new for me. I was only 18, 19 years when I started. I was feeling quite new in the business, and I felt that I have a lot to learn. And when Björn got the chance to do this song, Du är drömmen jag drömt, in the competition, I don't even think that it was that we were meant to be in the competition as a choir in the beginning. It was something that they found out on the way, that we might do it like this because it's good for our band that we do it. But it always felt that like it was Björn's song by himself, and we were just something at the side. We just hang on. It doesn't felt that we were competing as Björn did. But of course, I felt that it was a nice competition to be in. And I thought everything was, it was a good experience to do it at the side of it and don't be in the spot for the first time. But I don't even think that I were thinking that this might be something that I might do, even though I've been dreaming about it since I was a little child, of course. But, when you come so close to it, when you're in the choir and you see everything that near, then it becomes a little bit scary also.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I even imagined that this will be my stage one day.
Bortom mörkret finns en evighet. Himlens alla stjärnor lyser upp i natt.
The song Tusen och en natt was composed by Lars Dille Didriksson and Gert Längstrand. Did you know that they wrote 2 songs in this year that were sent to Melodifestivalen?
I have to think now. Maybe.
Because I met Gert Längstrand recently at a Melodifestivalen event, and he told me that the other song was his favorite of those 2.
No, I don't. Tell me, maybe I know if you tell me.
När det ringer i din telefon, dra ur jacket och stick därifrån. Ta en båt och ditt fiskespö till en öde ö.
This was Till en öde ö with the Swedish band Arvingarna, and I must say thank God that the selection panel chose Tusen och en natt instead.
No, so of course the song didn't manage to get through.
No.
Okay, no, I don't think I've ever heard it. No, that was something new for me.
What are your memories from the Swedish pre-selection in '99, except that Drömhus was the front runner to win?
Oh, I remember so many things. I mean, I liked the song that Martin sjöng. Martin, du är så, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that was one of my favorite songs. Maybe more actually than Drömhus's song, even though I think that was a good one as well. I also remember there were one, typical. I was number 1. I started as number 1, and as number 10, Cleo started with the song I don't remember, but I remember that Thomas Gesson wrote the song. Am I right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And the name was Natten är min vän.
Exactly. It was a typical dance music song, and I think they were a couple at this.
Yeah.
And she was so nervous. She was crying all the time, and she almost had a breakdown because she didn't think that it went that well. And that was quite hard to see, actually, because it was so tough to see an artist so vulnerable and so up and down, feeling confused and stressed, and that was something new for me, because even though I was nervous, of course everyone is nervous in this competition and in this situation, and especially if it's the first time, but I always felt quite comfortable in everything I do and feel that I can manage to handle my nervosity in some sort of a way, I think. But that was quite scary to see that someone was so it was heartbreaking. I remember it so well, and I don't ever think that it will go away in my mind. I often have it on my eyes because it was a little bit strange, I think.
You won a landslide in Melodifestivalen.
Finns i mina drömmar, tusen och en natt. Väcker mina känslor, varje tidig gryningsmorgon. Sagan om vår kärlek kan bli verklig, kan bli sann. Om du älskar mig i tusen och en natt.
But the bigger Sveriges Swedish radio channel P3 refused to play the winning song.
I think it's quite sad to see that. I mean, we don't have so many radio channels in Sweden, and we have a couple of big ones, and it's quite boring, and it's quite sad to see that someone just take a decision to not play a song that actually won the whole Eurovision that year. And I don't actually understand why. Of course, I understand that they didn't like the song. That was quite obvious. And they didn't thought that the song were, I mean, they want something else. They want something more popular, and they thought it sounded too much 70, like the old ABBA or something like that. But still, if Sweden has choose to send this song to the competition in Israel, and Europe actually choose the song, then I think it's quite weird that someone sit on their high horses and think that we take a decision that this is not good enough for Sweden.
Yeah.
I think that's quite weird.
Yeah, still very strange. The song was later translated to English, and I know many people were offered this job. The lyrics by Marcus Opera was chosen. Were you involved in this decision?
Yeah, really enjoyed, because involved because when I went to the studio for doing the English version, I had so many different kind of lyrics from people that have tried to do the best lyrics. And we were choosing in the studio. I sang a lot of different lyrics, and we were like, oh, which one sounds best? What should we use and what should we not use? I actually even think that Marcus has done maybe 2 or 3 versions of his own song. So we were like, cutting one part of that and one part of that. And I was like, no, this doesn't feel totally correct. I think I might use this word instead. And I put in some of my own words, and I was like rewritten some part of the songs. And today, if you do something like that, which you quite often do when you're in the studio, because you always want to make it like a little bit of your own, so it feels for real and that it feels comfortable for you to do it. Then you always have your own name on the lyrics as well, because you have done a lot while you're working with the song. But then, it was a long time ago, and I was quite new in the business. So I was like, who cares? It doesn't matter. I can just, I'm doing a lot of work here, but I was just happy to do it,
Yeah.
And, but today I would have been much harder on that one.
Eurovision in 1999 was held in sunny Jerusalem, and one of the things the audience noticed in the performance was the fact that several of your backup singers looked like they had been sleeping in sunbeds for a week, especially our beloved gospel king Gabriel Fors, that more looked like the crab Sebastian from Disney's The Little Mermaid.
That's correct. An hour ago, maybe before the competition started, I were doing my makeup. Matthias Stoffsing, who did my makeup, he was fixing me, and someone, I just heard, someone were whispering about Gabriel. He doesn't feel well. He's hiding somewhere. What? So I was running, because he's one of my closest friends, and I was like running and looking for him, and I found him in a big hall, totally by himself, sitting on the floor, like in a corner, like a small child who has done something really bad. I'm looking terrible. And I was like, but it's okay. And he was so red. He really looked like a crab. You're so right. I said that, but actually, I don't care about that. It's okay for me. I think we can fix it with some makeup, It's okay. But he was so embarrassing, because he was thinking that he has been stupid, of course, lying in the sun too much, and didn't think about the competition and performance, that it would look stupid if he were totally red and burned. We laugh at it today, of course, and that was the thing that we will never forget.
Can we please talk about your memorable outfit, the spray-painted bodysuit?
Yeah. Actually, that was an idea from my makeup artist, Matthias. He had a friend of him that was, I think she were a model or something in New York, and she was certainly a designer as well. Today she's very successful, but then she was just in the beginning of her career. And Matthias said that, I think it's a good idea to have this spray painted bodysuit, something like that. So that was totally his idea. And Bert Karlsson didn't like the idea at all. He was he wanted me to have something like a cute dress with flowers. And I was telling him so many times that I'm sorry, I do understand, but you have to remember I'm 24 years. I'm not 13 and I'm not 45, like, you know, an old lady wanted to look pretty. I'm a young woman who wants to look a little bit cooler. And that was at least my ambition. I'm not sure I look that cool, but the ambition was to do something that people will remember, and something that I knew for sure that no one else will have on stage.
Yeah.
And I think we managed to do something that were quite special. The thing was also that during this time we're working very hard, and I lose a couple of kilos during the competition. So it looks a little bit like a piano, you know, because it was a little bit too big, and it was like on my stomach, it was like small, not fitted perfect.
Yeah.
The pants were also a little bit too big, hanging on my hips there, you know. I don't know. Today we should, of course, have done it in another way. But still, I think it was something that people will remember.
Yeah. You won Eurovision. How long did it take to realize what was about to happen?
In the beginning, we didn't got that many points, actually. So we were like sitting there, me and Dille Didrikson, who wrote the music. And we were like, if there is some country where we actually should believe it's here. And we were cross our fingers and just hope that it went well. But in the beginning, it was quite tough. But it ended up with 12 points from a lot of countries. And we realized that maybe this might work. But it took a while during the competition.
Yeah. The year after, in 2000, Stockholm was the host city, and usually the winner from the year before nearly always performed a winning song or something in the opening or in the intermission, or at least delivered a prize to the new winner.
Yeah.
But from what I remember, you were not on the stage at all. How come?
We had a guy called Svante Stockselius.
Yeah.
I think maybe a lot of people remember him. He was in the top of EBU for a long time. He took the decision that he didn't want me to do anything at all, because he thought that it was Sweden that has won the competition. It was absolutely not me, and it was not my time to shine. I had my shining time when I won. And now it was Sweden's time to just do a big competition and to show the world how wonderful and how good they are. So they wanted to do a big dance number, something like that. And they didn't want me on stage. They wanted me to leave the flowers to the winning artist. But I felt that, oh my Lord, you have to rehearsals for days and weeks. And they wanted me to be there and just deliver a flower for 2 seconds in the picture in TV. I felt that it was embarrassing to not do anything more. And I was quite sad about it, because it felt like they didn't have any respect for me at all. And I don't think you do like that to an artist who has won. And I actually didn't ask for much. I didn't say that, oh, I want to do my new single. It's 7 minutes long. It wasn't like that. I could have done almost anything that they have suggested. But I wanted to sing. Yeah. I am a singer. I wanted to do something that I could feel proud of, you know, not leaving flowers, because that could someone else do. That was nothing special.
Yeah, I totally agree. A very bad decision.
Yeah.
In 2002, Thomas Gesson sent a song to the Swedish pre-selection that was rejected and instead got through in Finland. And this song was Who Cares About a Broken Heart?
Who cares about a broken heart? 'Cause better feel my
to sing this song in the Swedish pre-selection?
No, I don't think so, actually. I don't remember. I don't even remember if I did the song after it's been in the Finnish.
Yes.
I did.
Yeah.
I have to ask you because I was like, yeah, I did, because I was pregnant when I released the song, I think 2004, 2005, something.
2003, I believe.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. It was the time I was pregnant then. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't think that I was offered to sing it in Finland. Not what I remember, at least.
In 2008, 9 years after your victory, you were back in the Swedish pre-selection. How many songs had you rejected up till then?
I don't know how many, but of course there's been a few. But I was also quite clear about that. I didn't thought that I will go back to the competition. I thought that this was something I did once, and I loved the competition with my whole heart, and I knew for sure 100% that I will never ever win again.
Yeah.
And I felt that it would, why should I destroy it? I had the Gloria, that, and I just felt that it would be a wrong decision to go there again.
I know, Charlotte, there is a song called Jag är tillbaks that the composers sent me last year when I did a series about rejected songs, and the composer, Gustav Lund, more known in Sweden as Gurra G, told us in this series that the version that later was released was the demo that he recorded.
Yeah, I think that's correct, actually. And I think I just did the song like once in the studio, and then I remember we were talking on the phone and we were like, do you think it's okay? Can we use the song? I just did it once. Is it okay? Yeah, maybe I think it's okay. I think we can use it, because I was like, I don't know why I didn't want to go to the studio again if I didn't have time or whatever. But I know that we released the song Jag är tillbaks, like I'm back, just before I went to the competition 2008 with Hero. I think we released it in November or something, 2007. And that was really good, because it was also fun to do something like Jag är tillbaks for the fans, because then it was an up-tempo, it was a good pop song, and people knows a little bit what it was all about before I were coming back to the competition.
Yeah.
Jag är tillbaks, håller blicken rak, stolt och stark, står upp för min sak. Men vinden i min rygg, får jag stadigt trygg. Jag är tillbaks,
When Chrissy Björkman called me 2008 and wanted me to listen to a song that Petra Frey had written, I was totally in love with the song, and I couldn't refuse to do it. I felt that this is my song. This is so good. I love it. It felt like it was meant to be. And I also understand that this song has a good chance to win in Sweden. And if I don't do it, I might sit home in my sofa, watch another one with this song. And I didn't want to take that decision. So I was pretty sure the first time I heard it that, oh my God, I have to do it. I have to go back into this circus again, even though I'd never thought I should have done it before. But that was quite easy decision for me to take.
The demo you heard then was sung by Agneta Körsvik, I believe.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Everything has a beginning. Everyone knows when it ends. Take it or leave it, but love is forever. 'Cause your broken heart can mend. Try to say no to your feelings, and you'll know that your heart will say no. Some things are stronger. Yeah, love is forever, and you know you can't let go.
Melodifestivalen again, And Eurovision in 2008 was held in Belgrade. And I must say, I'm not usually one to brag that Sweden is gonna win, but this year I was convinced. And before we talk about the result, can you take us back to your week in Belgrade and your experience there?
That was something very unusual because it was so... I mean, my feelings from Eurovision from Jerusalem 9 years earlier was something totally different. And maybe mostly because now it was 3 evenings that we were competing instead of 1.
Yeah.
And the competition had grown a lot since I won. But still, it was a fantastic time to be there. It was amazing to come back as a former winner. I also remember a lot of people actually believed in the song and believed in me. And that was, of course, very fun. I don't know if they believed in me or in the song. But BBC, for example, broadcasted a show before the big competition and said that this year, for the first time, Eurovision will have an artist that is female that will win 2 times. So, of course, I heard a lot about these stories everywhere, and I heard that people actually really believed in me. But I also understand that the second competition on the Thursday evening, that it was very hard for us because we went through to the grand finale because of the jury and not because of what people think. So I understand quite early that this might be a tough ride.
Yeah. You were not the only star in a dress made of silver that week.
Lady, I'm gonna strike a thunder. Are you ready? I wanna make you wonder. Rolling steady, I'm gonna make you shiver. My heart is burning now.
And I know both media and the fans compared you and Ukrainian girl Annie Lorak. Was this something that bothered you, and did the two of you speak about it?
No, we never speak about it, but I quite early understand what was going to happen because we had a Swedish guy dancing behind Annie Lorak, and he has been in the Swedish competition while I won with my silver dress.
Yeah.
And I understand quite early that they have been talking about me and they've been talking about my performance and my look. And because a lot of my friends knew him very well, and I knew him, of course, as well. And so we realized that they will do something in the same style. But the thing is that they went to a big designer, Jean-Paul Gaultier, who did this dress even much better than mine was, because he was doing a fantastic thing about the dress, you know. So I think she was gorgeous, and it was wonderful in every way. And that was also felt because she doesn't look like that at all when she was competing in her national show in her country. But when we realized that, oh my God, she has she's copying me, and she will look the same way that I do.
Yeah.
But better. So what will I do? And we were already there in Belgrade, and we were already there with my dress, and we were talking about, should we just put me on a plane to somewhere, I don't know, London, Paris, and just buy a new dress, a couple of days before the competition. But I didn't want to. They all said that it's okay, we take it, you just do it, buy whatever you want. But I didn't want, because I felt that this was a decision from the beginning, and we have been figuring this out for so long time. I don't want to change a couple of days before the finale just because someone else are trying to copy me. That felt so weird. So I just took the decision that, okay, I know she have done it really good, and she might turn up better than me, but still, I can't change a couple of days before. It feels just like I were going to act in panic, and I didn't want to do that.
Please, Charlotte, can you tell us now, how much did that dress cost?
Oh, it doesn't cost that much at all because we had a girl from Gothenburg who helped us sew it, and I have no clue. I don't even remember. But I mean, what can it cost? I mean, it's not like when you buy a Balmain dress for 100, 200 Swedish thousand crowns. Not like that at all. 20,000 maybe, something like that. I don't think it was more expensive. I mean, you can think that is much money, but for a dress on stage in Eurovision is not a big amount to put in. So in this world, it was a very cheap dress.
Yeah. You came in 18th place with only 47 points, where 12 of them were from Malta. Were you disappointed or just surprised, or both, as I was?
It's really hard to say, because I felt, as I said before, I felt that the wind were not blowing the same way as they did when I was in Jerusalem, because then I felt that, okay, we have a chance to win. But still, it was in the beginning when we came to Belgrade, as I said, BBC went out and thought that we were supposed to win and blah, blah, blah. So it was hard because it was ups and downs. Some people really believed in me and the song. And I also felt that maybe not. It was like, maybe it will go very well, or maybe we will just be in the end or something like that. And we realized it as further the competition were going, that this will be very, very tough for us. So I disappointed, of course, because you always want to do something good, and you want people to think that you're doing something good, because you want also people in Sweden to be proud of you because they send you and they believe in you. And that's a tough time to just realize that no one else thought it was that good in other countries, that actually Sweden thought. It's a hard question. It's hard to answer because it was so many. There is so many answers, and there is also so many feelings in the result. But I was also quite tired at this time. I have been touring for 6 weeks before the competition starts. I've been in the whole Europe around and doing everything I could, actually. And on the personal plane, I had it quite tough, and I really wanted to go home and take care of my children and to just sort things up, with my life. And I actually did. I mean, you always want to have a good result, but I felt 100% that I didn't understand how I should manage to carry if I win. Yeah. Because I didn't know how to just stand up, because it was personally so tough time. So I was happy that I could go home and that actually people didn't care about me so much. Of course, the papers did, because they want always they lift you and then they write about the bad times. But still, I was happy just to have the chance to go home and not needed to work that much that I had to do if I had won.
Yeah, I understand. 4 years later, you took part in Melodifestivalen again, and this time also with a song made by Fredrik Kempe. And now I'm talking about the song "The Girl."
Yeah.
I wonder, were you back for revenge?
No, I don't think so, actually, because in Sweden I had won 2 times. So I didn't felt that this is revenge. I think that this was such a good song. And sometimes I actually think that the song is even better than Hero. It's so good. It's just that it wasn't the right time. The timing wasn't perfect in Sweden. I think that if I had compared with The Girl 2008, I think that I have won in Sweden.
I was the girl, I got lost. Now I'm ready to be found, yeah. Oh, I was the girl, I got lost. Now my feet back on the ground, yeah. Feel the power of dancing. Feel the power of love. I was the girl, I got lost. Now I'm ready to be found, yeah.
timing to 2008 was perfect. The song was good, Hero. Had I been competing with The Girl, that is also a fantastic song, 2008, I think I have won. I don't know how the result has been in Belgrade. It's hard to say, but the timing in Sweden 2012 was definitely wrong. There were so many other good songs and yeah.
The last time we saw you participate in the Swedish pre-selection for Eurovision was with the song Mitt Liv that you wrote by yourself. And as I understand it, this time the goal of the participation wasn't to win at all.
No.
För mitt liv är mitt och ingen annans. Lever starkt, tar nya tag. Jag önskar att alla kunde se det, men allt är inte självklart. Det krävs mod för mig varje dag.
No, it wasn't, and that's really hard for people to understand, because people are like, no, it's impossible. You always go into the competition with the mind of winning. But I knew that this is a ballad. I don't show the world that I'm a master in singing. I don't show them, the high tones. I don't, high notes. I don't show actually nothing. The only thing that I wanted to show is something totally new. A vulnerable face that actually wanted to do something without a mask, Yeah. And I think that also is so important because if you are an artist, you can't go up in the ring and do the same thing all the time, because then I think you're a quite uninteresting artist.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to show, was that I have become a couple of years older. I have done things in my life. I want to show you other things of me. Because I know 100% for sure that if I've been in the competition with, for example, The Girl or Hero, no one would have voted for that. I'm pretty sure about that, because then people will say, oh my God, so boring. She came again with this new song that sounds exactly like the other one. So I don't think that would have a good idea either. So this was a chance to show something else. And the thing is, for me, it was perfect. Even though it's always fun if you win or if you got a lot of points and come on a good place. I mean, still, I showed the audience and my fans that this is how my album will sound. I have written new songs. It's about me. It's about my life. And I don't ever think that so many people have mailed me, called me, written to me about the lyrics in a lot of the songs, and felt that they actually been touched about it. And that was so important to me and felt so good. And so for me, I was pretty happy, even though it was boring. That of course it would have been fun if a lot of more people have liked it, but the album sold gold, and I had a chance to do a lot of new kind of things that I didn't done before. So I was satisfied with the result anyways, even though it's hard to understand.
But wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
Last year, in the final of the Swedish pre-selection, you performed a song with the great diva herself, Dana International.
Yes.
Had you met her since the composer of your winning song fell over her and poured wine over her dress on stage in Jerusalem?
I met her a lot of times during the years, especially out in Europe. But I actually think that I met her when we were talking about it. And I know that we have been talking and been laughing about it, that Gert Längstrand step on her and she fall. It was nice that she wanted to come to Sweden. And now I actually went to Tel Aviv last year again for being commentator for Sweden during the Eurovision. So I met her again.
Yeah.
And she is very nice. She's a very funny person.
Love me like you do. Love like I love you. We're all LGBT.
ask, how many meters of fabric was the dress made of?
I don't remember it right now. I think I will lie if I just pick a number. I don't remember.
But are we talking about hundreds of meters?
Probably. I'm sorry, I don't remember. But it was a lot and it was very heavy. We were 3 or 4 persons when we carried it in, and they were 2 or 3 person behind me carried the dress with me when I was going out on stage. It was so heavy. But it was fun. It was fun to do something else.
And it was fabulous.
Yeah.
I know many fans outside Sweden want to know, what are you doing today, Charlotte?
Today I'm almost in quarantine like everyone else. I'm playing paddle every day, trying to just keep up, brain and body and everything. That's quite fun. That's a new thing for me. I haven't done it before. I'm sitting home, playing piano, singing a lot right now. I am not recording anything right now. I will do a new TV thing, record it in summer. And that's not official what I will do, so I can talk about it more. But that's what I do right now. My whole summer is actually canceled, like for everyone else right now. And I were supposed to tour even in Norway and some other country, but everything is canceled. So now it's not that much actually that we can do. We're sitting in the boat and in the same boat actually, and just hold our head high and try to hold on. And we hope that we come out stronger when this is over.
Yeah. Can we expect to see more of you in Melodifestivalen in the future?
I don't know. Right now, I don't feel like that's a good idea. But I've said that many times before. So you shouldn't trust me on that one. But I need something spectacular. I mean, something really new, something that really below my mind and everyone else maybe as well. I don't know what it should be that actually make me fall for the thought to go in the competition again. It's always fun when you take the decision, but there is also so many things that I almost hate with the competition. I'm not that fond of the circus that you need to go into and to be judging. I'm not sure. It's so tough because even though I can manage to not win, I can manage to all of those kind of things. It's also, media could be so boring to handle, and you really need to feel for taking that fight if you should go into the competition, because otherwise it's impossible.
Yeah.
I have a good life and I'm very happy today, and I don't know why I should go in there and just become angry because people who judge me, and then it's often the papers and journalists and things like that, people that think they know best, people that want to be funny and want to write things that they think is very cool. And I don't know if I want to be part of that and to give them that actually. A long answer, but that's just because I'm not clear about what I really think.
On behalf of me and my listeners, thank you so much, Charlotte, for your time.
Oh, that was nothing. That was a pleasure, and it was fun to talk with you.
Do you have anything you would like to say to your fans listening out in the world?
I hope that the quarantine is over very soon, and I really would love to see a lot of the fans outside, Sweden, because the Swedish fans I see a lot, but it's not that often that I have the chance to come to all of the countries that I would love to. And I got a lot of mails from people following me and wanted me to come to other countries in Europe, and I would love to, but there will come a time for that as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Puss och kram!
Puss och kram! Bye bye!
I don't lie like a star, like a hero.